Endgame is coming out soon. Who has two thumbs and is excited? This guy. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it! Welcome to another edition of L.I.F.T Tutoring, and this is the week of Endgame, and I could not be more ecstatic about a singular event that is taking place in my entire life. Yes, there are other things that I find more important. Yes, there are other things that I find maybe more memorable, but nothing has had quite the build-up as having all of these Marvel movies starting in 2008 finally come to a close and starting a new chapter for all of us superhero fans and those of us who just really love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, on that vein, I know that there's a lot of parents who will be taking their children to go see this movie, and I'm gonna tie in you being able to take your child to this movie into why it is that having experiences with your children in the long run will be better for them than getting them things or buying them just things with your money and having them be able to enjoy the things that you buy them. It is much more important, in my belief and in others, as you'll see, that you have experiences rather than having things. And this is never more crucial than having an experience with your child that they will remember for the rest of their life. Even if they forget it, and it may come back up later. So I want to talk to you guys about why what you're doing with your children today helps them in the long run as far as academics. But first, we're going to start with an article that I found on entrepreneur.com, and it is called 7 Reasons Why Spending Money on Experiences Makes Us Happier Than Buying Stuff. Then I'm going to translate that into an educational term and what that means for your child. So the very first one is just for credit where credit's due. This article was written by John Rampton. He's a VIP contributor for entrepreneur.com, just for reference. Happiness over material items quickly fades. So if you actually have material items, you have the initial rush of getting something new, but then after a while, you then want something else new. Whereas with the experience, you can actually bring that back up into your forefront and remember that feeling more often of being exhilarated and experiencing something new. The second reason you should have experiences over stuff is experiences define your purpose and your passion. So the more experiences that you have, the more you can figure out who you are as a person and where you want to be. By seeing what you like and what you don't like, you can therefore make better decisions off of what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Possessions do not contribute to social relationships, okay? So when you have an experience with somebody, especially as I'm going to tie it in later, when you have experiences with your children, the relationship that you build with your child over certain experiences that you have will mean more to them in the long run than if you just bought them the latest and greatest new whatever it is that they wanted, because they're able to experience that with you and therefore they're able to have a bond with you. Moments are memorable. That's pretty self-explanatory. Every time we tell stories, the greatest of stories are the ones where you are talking about something that happened to you. Not necessarily what you got, not necessarily something you bought, but what you were able to do. Number 5, experiences introduce you to a whole new world. It's true. There's only so much that you can get by watching a movie or playing a game or even reading books. When you go out and make new experiences with in other cultures and other parts of the world, you can start to now broaden your horizons and your understanding when it comes to understanding and being able to connect with people that you otherwise wouldn't have connected with. Number 6 is called stuffication. This is what this article says. And basically, when you buy things, sometimes you just store it. You just stuff it somewhere. The great thing about experiences is you don't have to worry about experiences piling up on you. You can actually go back into your memory, grab that experience, be able to tell it as a story, be able to make a connection with somebody else that you just met on a similar experience, and you don't have to use physical space to keep it. And then the last one, it's no fun keeping up with the Joneses. Material things are great, but if that's constantly what's defining you, is to always have the latest and greatest and more and more and more and more, you will never be satisfied. Now I'm going to tie it into experiences with your children, okay? The first thing is the more memories that you have with your children, then the better it's going to be when they get older and they can say, Mom, I remember when you did this with me. Dad, I remember when you did that with me. And there are memories that you think may not mean anything to your children, but as they grow up, they will pull from that depth of knowledge and remembrance and be able to thank you. And it's something fantastic, because even as a teacher, I noticed that there are times where a student will say, I remember when you did this for me. And I said, really? I didn't even think that was important. Just like the article said, exposure to new ideas can do nothing but good for your children, because it now gives them a connection to the world that they otherwise might not have had being in their local community. And it helps us teachers so much, because let's, for instance, say that I'm a teacher in the Midwest. I'm a teacher in the Midwest in a lower resources type of school, and we come across a particular body of water, and I ask the children in a book, and I ask the children, what do you think this is? I might get responses such as a pond, a lake, a river, but what I might not get is an ocean. Now, some of you watching this are like, well, obviously an ocean would be the biggest form of water. Why wouldn't the children say an ocean? But think about it. If you're 5 years old and you've never actually been to the beach, and you've never watched any shows that have the beach on it, and your parents have never been to the beach because they've been Midwest their whole life, why would you think it's an ocean? If you live more closer to a lake, you're more likely to say lake. So being able to have experiences with your children, whether that's going to museums with them and showing them things that are outside of their local purview or their local life, or watching certain documentaries with them, or just asking them questions about many different ideas. The internet is chock full of so many interesting things. And so the more exposure to new ideas, the better they can consume and start to read and understand new vocabulary, because they can start to give it context because they're exposed to new experiences. Memories can be attached to items that instantly bring you joy. So downstairs in my man cave, I have lots of different figures from different places in Japan that I grabbed from. Some of them Dragon Ball Z, some of them X-Men, Avengers, even like something like this shirt. This shirt has no inherent meaning, but when I wear it, I think about the time where I saw Captain America and Winter Soldier with my sister, and therefore I can instantly pull the joy from that experience together. And this is morbid, but it's true, and we all have to face this reality because it's all going to happen to us one day. You as a parent, when it's time for you to leave from this earth, the experiences that you have from your children are what they are going to be able to hold on to and move forward with. I talk about this a lot in my Stan Lee video that I did when Stan Lee passed away, how much I appreciated the fact that my dad really introduced me to superheroes, and he cultivated that within me. He and my mom went to go see Spider-Man, and it was excellent. Or the time when he was actually wrestling for WCW, and he took me with him, and I got to sit ringside. Or the time when my mom used to go on all the roller coasters with me at Six Flags Great America in Chicago. You being it's very simplistic, but it's worth noting. You being a part of your child's life and having experiences with them, things that you introduce them to, and things that they want to do, activities that they want to do that you're a part of, even if you're not enjoying it the way they're enjoying it, you being there has exponential value to their lives. And it helps them when it comes to their academics, it helps them when it comes to their critical thinking, it helps them when it comes to inferring, it helps them when it comes to predictions, it helps them make sense of the world around them, and it lasts a lifetime. So, in the vein of Avengers Endgame, even if you have no interest in Avengers and your child wants to go see it, go see it. Because although it might be just another 3-hour long, how am I going to get through this movie for you, to your child, it could mean a lifetime of joy. Continue to develop a love for lifelong learning.